today we're talking about the Woods that's coming later this year to Weston, Massachusetts. Tell me a little bit about this venture, Brian.
I moved to Weston in 2018. I love the town. It is the beautiful nature, very close to the city. And I quickly noticed there was no restaurants in town. There was no liquor consumption to the public. And I found it ironic that I was living in a dry town as somebody who runs a hospitality restaurant group. And as I started looking, it seemed increasingly hard to find space here and to find any want for a liquor license until the town finished the development of the Josiah Smith Tavern, and they got a liquor license through a special legislation, and put out a request for proposal for restaurateurs to submit a bid for the space and to be a tenant in the beautiful tavern. And I fell in love with the project from the moment I walked through it. It's really beautiful.
So, yeah, tell me more about this space itself.
Yeah, the Josiah Smith Tavern was built in the 1700s. It's right on Town Square. George Washington stopped by there as he was marching the Revolutionary Army in 1775. And it served alcohol to guests right up until the late 1800s, until Prohibition started becoming a thing. And in the early 80s, the building was in severe disrepair, being on the town square. The town really wanted to save it, so they purchased the building and then raised money and started renovating it. I think they started in 2016 and finished last year.
And what else, other than being the first and only restaurant where they can get a drink at, what else can people expect from the Woods and the experience that you're going to deliver there?
Excellent. Yeah, we want to be a farm and seed at table restaurant, so we want to get a lot of our vegetables as locally sourced as possible. We're definitely trying to take on as many sustainable practices. Central to the kitchen, we'll have a wood-fired grill, and we're going to donate and plant a tree for every tree we burn. Trying to be a better restaurant, more sustainable, more connected to the community. We'll see 3 different dining room spaces, all designed a little differently. You know, taking the charm of what is there and the historic elements, but giving it a nice, fresh, modern feel.
Where are we at in terms of the project and readying the Woods?
Yeah, so we want to be open by October 2024, so that's fall harvest next year.
Are you guys working on construction inside the building right now?
Not swinging hammers construction, but I'm holding about 3 construction meetings a week. So a lot of the development happens on computers and CAD. Basically, we need to make construction documents. And once those construction documents are finalized, we get permitting from the town. Once the permitting goes through, we start swinging hammers. And then once we build the space out, we can get a certificate of occupancy from the town, which allows us to have guests in, and that's when the ABCC, the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, releases the liquor license, and you open.
And are you also in the process still of developing the menu and what type of food offerings you'll have?
Oh, absolutely, yes. And today I have a meeting with Landstake Farm. It's the largest local farm in Weston, because we want to use them as our primary vegetable supplier, especially seasonally. So we basically want to go to them and let them tell us what they have in excess bounty that is fresh that week, and we're going to take that, incorporate it into our seasonal menu.
And, tell me a little bit more about the values that you hope to reflect in the business, because I know that you've mentioned sustainability and things that are locally sourced. So why is that important to you?
Well, it's good for the planet. It's good for the community. Being in the restaurant business, I've definitely struggled with how can we be more effective and more sustainable and more green in our practices. And I must say, over the years, I have taken steps, from taking out all my Edison bulbs to putting in LED bulbs everywhere, every step we can, making our to-go packaging, not plastic, recycled cardboard. But here we have an opportunity to build a restaurant from ground up where we can select every piece of equipment. We can, really build systems that are better for the community, better for the environment. Weston has a lot of wetlands, and so it's very important how much water we take in and how much water we put out. And that's one of the primary reasons.
And I know that you mentioned too that, you saw opportunity, when moving to Weston and noticing kind of a gap there in terms of what was offered to people. What do you overall, in a broad sense, hope to bring to Weston with this project?
Yeah, good question. All of my projects, I think about the community first, even going back to D-Bar in 2005. What does the community in Dorchester need? And I really tried to assess who's there, who wants to go out. And, I'm proud to say 18 years later, we're still a staple of the Dorchester community. And we did the same thing in the Back Bay with Duave. Everybody said, don't open on the other side of Mass Ave. It's the bad side of Mass Ave. I was like, no, Boston's ready to open a nice fine dining restaurant on the other side of Mass Ave. And, we've become a dining room for the community. People use us weekly, monthly for celebration. And being in Weston, I hope to accomplish the same thing, a place where you can go with your family weekly, a place you come to celebrate, on special occasions and holidays, and really become a fabric of the community, a meeting house, a bar, restaurant, private event space, all of those things.
As you do more of these, this is obviously not your first rodeo. How does the process evolve for you personally and professionally, putting together these restaurants, preparing them to open?
Yeah, I'm a tireless entrepreneur, so I love diving into the deep end of the pool and figuring out how to swim back. So that's part of the challenge. I really thrive in I like to say chaos, but it's really an organized chaos. But it's really the team I have behind me. The team of professionals already in my hospitality group that I can rely on, not to just run things as I'm focusing on the growth, but also be there for the opening. The team of professionals, also goes into my building side. My designer, Stephen Martak, this is the third restaurant we've designed together. So to be able to work with him again and have him in the building phase is incredible. My lawyers, everything to just get it together. What's incredible about this is I'm working with the community. All my other deals have been with a landlord, a private landlord, and this is kind of the reverse. We're working with the town and a nonprofit to figure out how to make a business work. So it's actually been a little bit more joyful to talk with everybody when you're having the conversations of what will work. Everybody's trying to come together to make it work.